This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by State Farm Insurance.
Okay, so just before the break, Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield told us when it comes to hurricane season, we're not quite out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, so the last thing you want to do is wait until the last minute to prepare, especially when that storm's coming right up the coast. Joining us today to tell us how is Claudia Nicholls, State Farm Insurance Agent in Berlin. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So first, let's talk about emergency preparedness. It is important to be prepared before you hear about the storm.
Absolutely. 'Tis the season. June 1st to November 30th, we're in the hurricane season. We can't control the weather. The only thing that we can control is our ability to be prepared, and that's why it's so important to take those steps to keep your family and your property safe.
So along with everything you need to do, you need to check your insurance, because a lot of people may not realize that flood insurance doesn't come on a standard homeowner's policy, right?
Right. Your standard policy will cover any wind damage that you sustain, and everyone needs to make sure they do check with their agents, because you normally have a higher deductible in a time of a hurricane. Rising water into the home is not covered under your standard homeowner's policy, and the only way that that's covered is through the National Flood Insurance Program.
Okay.
And you can purchase that, but a lot of people do not realize there is a 30-day wait. So if you call me 2 days before a storm, I can sell you the policy, but it will not be effective for 30 days.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Another thing that you suggest we do is take a home inventory of all of our items.
Yes, and a lot of the insurance companies have free inventory checklists on their websites. But I recommend you go a step further, not just for hurricane, especially for something like fire or theft, that you do an inventory, take pictures, if you have the ability, do a video, and if you receipts on high value things that you purchase, and keep those in a fire waterproof area.
Okay, so we've checked our insurance policy, we're taking an inventory of what's going on. It's a good idea to have a kit in preparation for what's about to happen. What should we put in that kit? How long should it last?
I have 2 big plastic tubs with those pop-on lids out in my garage.
Yeah.
I have water, and the rule of thumb is 1 gallon per person per day.
Okay.
I have a first aid kit. We have candles, flashlights. It's really important to have a battery-operated radio and extra batteries.
Yeah.
And so you can stay current on what's going on.
Yeah.
What about cash? Because a lot of times when the power goes out, we can't use ATMs.
That's true.
Like that.
That's true. It's important. I don't think I'd put it in the kit, but it might be a good idea. 2 good ideas. Make sure you have gas in your car, and cash on hand.
Okay. And before the storm, there are also certain measures we need to take on the outside of our home.
If you can have materials available to safely protect your home, plywood to board up your windows, tarps, things like that, if you have any areas of leaking that you can use. Anything outside of your home, your grills, your patio furniture, you need to put that away in the garage, on the porch. In times of high winds, that can be very dangerous.
See signs on the road all the time, storm evacuation route. It's important to have an evacuation plan.
Absolutely. You need to have the plan. You need to practice the plan. All your family members need to know that. I have a brother in Virginia that knows if we have something here, I'm going there. And so does everyone else in my family. It's important to update that plan as people change. I don't have kids in the house anymore, so that's a little bit different.
There you go.
Don't forget, also in your disaster kit, if you have pets, you want pet food in there. So get your pets, your family, if you have valuables, photos, and leave.
All right, preparation is key.
Absolutely.
Claudia Nicholls, thank you so much. Good information. Prepare now. And of course, if you would like some more information from State Farm Insurance, go to our website, wboc.com. Click on our picture at the top of the page.
You know, something else that these major storms can do is leave your home without electricity, sometimes for days at a time, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Delmarva Life's Sean Streicher joins us from Schagrin Gas in Rehoboth Beach with more on how a propane generator could help in these situations. Sean?
Jimmy, when the power goes out for an hour, I'm okay. But anything longer than that, then, you know, I just can't deal with it. Think about it. There's lights, there's fans, there's refrigerators. We use electricity for so much we almost take it for granted, but a propane generator can help keep the power flowing to those essential items in a case of an emergency. I'm here at Schagrin Gas with owner Rick Levinson and sales manager Marc Frey. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Marc, starting with you, these propane generators, how do they work?
Yeah, when the utility power is lost at the street, the generator will sense that there's a problem. Then the generator will start running, and then will restore power to the house.
So how much can they power in a home?
It does depend on the homeowner, whether they want to run essential circuits, meaning minimum lights, outlets, refrigeration, sump pumps, or if they want to run the whole house to get their air conditioning going on there too.
So you could essentially power your whole home with one of these generators?
Absolutely. We have sizes. Our most popular to run the whole home is a 22 kW, and then they can go all the way up that we have installed before, all the way up to 100 kW.
I'm sure that's really helpful. Rick, we're talking propane here. What makes propane so different than other fuel sources?
Well, it's an extremely clean burning product. It's green in nature, leaves no footprint, so to speak. It's very, very flexible as far as usage. For the generators, they'll run and run and run. You can run up to a week, 2 weeks consistently, and we can put in large tanks to fill those and keep it operating no matter what's going on outside.
And it doesn't go bad, you were saying? It pretty much lasts forever?
Yeah, the propane does not go bad, doesn't degenerate like gasoline or diesel fuel will.
So that's really important, because in an emergency, you don't know when you're going to need it.
Exactly, exactly.
And so when I think propane, though, I think about these little propane tanks we use to fuel the grills. But you were saying you don't need to buy like 100 of these tanks and keep one in the backyard. You can get a big one.
Right, it's not like the little portable gasoline generators where you consistently have to fill it with a small 5-gallon jug. We normally put in tanks anywhere from, say, 200 up to 1,000 gallons for customers, depending on the size of the generator and what the needs of the customer is.
How long can that run a generator?
I can run it up to 2 weeks consistently.
That's great. Marc, back to you. We've been talking generators, but that's not the only thing propane can run on.
That is correct. In a home itself, and talking the generators, the more propane you have in a house, the less size generator you'll need. So in a home, propane can run your cooking, your gas furnace, your fireplace, your hot water is a big thing too. Then you go outside the house, you can have it fuel your pool heater, your barbecue grill, have a direct line ran to your barbecue grill, so you don't have to worry about those small tanks anymore.
And real quick, also heat in the winter. I know it's hot out now, we don't want to think about that, but it's a good way to heat your house.
Yeah, it's a great way to heat the house, especially down here in Sussex County. A lot of homes use propane to heat their homes. Very efficient.
Well, guys, hey, that's some great information. A propane generator can keep your house running in an emergency if one of those hurricanes should roll across the peninsula. If you want more information on that, all you have to do is go to our website, wboc.com, and click on our picture at the top of the page. Jimmy and Lisa, back to you guys.
Lots of good information there. It's important to know what to keep in your home in order to stay safe. It's also important to know how to get yourself into that perfect home for you. Coming up next on Delmarva Life, we run down the list of do's and don'ts when it comes to purchasing your very first home, questions you should and shouldn't ask, and hidden fees you may not have even thought of.
You know the saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You just wait. Still ahead, we hear how one woman finds treasure in the most unexpected of places and how it pays off big time in the end. Plus, how you can get in on the action at a local auction. Delmarva Life will be right back.